might be it. The finale. Hopefully. The princess's hairs, specifically Princess Luna and Princess Celestia's hairs, have been an absolute mystery for a number of years, and I am being dead serious. I think we can all collectively agree that at least in the beginning of the series, Celestia having cool, wavy hair was just simply a stylistic choice, right? But as the series goes on and on, we see weirder and weirder things with her mains, eventually probably crossing into the realm of no longer just a cool style choice, but rather lore. I'll pose a question to you. Are their mains just pure magic? By their mains, I mean Celestia and Luna's mains. Are they just pure magic? And without it, they just go bald? Or is there actual hair underneath that effect? Is the waviness their actual hair? Did these two alicorns at one point have normal mains? And why, oh why, does everybody seem to believe that Celestia had pink hair? She did not! She had no pink hair! There was no pink hair ever! I'll get into more detail later about the main pinkness of Celestia, but first let's get into something a little less drastic. Let's get into Princess Luna's mane. See, both princesses have something weird with their manes. It's not just Celestia. Princess Luna's mane is something I already covered before, but I'll cover it again now. In Season 1, Episode 1 and Season 1, Episode 2, Luna showed up with this design. That's a great design, isn't it? It's cute with a buzz cut mane style, I think. Listen, the most hairstyles I know are the Fallout 4 creation menu, hairstyles, so I don't know what this is. This is a buzz cut, a pixie cut. It's not a buzz cut, am I going crazy? But this design seems nice and inoffensive by itself, okay? Okay. It's a good look for Luna. That is, until we get to Season 2. And for some unexplainable reason, Luna's mane changed to this design. This flowy mane design, and this is the design that gets carried throughout the rest of the series. Not once do we ever see Luna return back to that Season 1 design, which is a real damn shame, because it's really, really cool. Some fun quick Spitfire facts about Luna's design. There is evidence to suggest that, at least for Season 2, they were originally playing with the idea of keeping Season 1 Luna's design. The episode Luna Eclipsed has a lot of, evidence in it to suggest that Luna originally had her Season 1 mane, and at late stage production they changed to her Season 2 mane. Anyways, another cool fact is that Season 2 Cadence is based on Season 1 Luna. I once literally dug into the files and found Luna in Cadence, which is really cool. Anyways, most people seem to agree that Luna, with her normal mane style, is a depowered state. AKA, she was hit with a rainbow of power going mock Jesus. She was completely drained of magic, and this is what Luna looks like when she's completely drained of magic. Right? This is all well and good, except for the fact that we did actually see what a depowered Luna and Celestia and Cadence looked like in the Season 4 finale. Don't worry, I'll get back to the scene a little later. I'm not glossing over it, okay? But for now, just look. Depowered Luna does not look like her Season 1 counterpart. So I think we could agree that depowered Luna does not look like Season 1 Luna, so that probably isn't what's happening. The comics actually did semi-explore what happened to Luna's mane. They tried to hand-wave it away by saying that Luna simply got her confidence back, and that's why she got her flowy mane, which is okay, I don't know. Although I generally like to say that the comics are canon, there are a few comics in which straight up just break canon. And unfortunately, the comic where Luna got her confidence back was one of those comics. So, canonicity is a little sussy baka there, let's say that. I do actually want to go back and cover canonicity in a later video. I actually already have a script for it, so I'm not going to touch very much on that right now, but take Luna getting her confidence back with a grain of salt, okay? All in all, I believe the actual reason as to why Luna had her design changed, I genuinely believe this, is as simple as somebody at Hasbro, or I guess DHX Media, just wanted her design changed. That's it. Whether it was to make cheaper toys, or simply just make it more obvious that Celestia and Luna are related, I don't know. I also think that maybe part of the reason why her design was changed was simply because this Season 1 design kind of inspires low confidence, I guess, and shine. It's kind of like Fluttershy. But when Season 2 rolled around, her personality was very much not that. She was very loud and boisterous, I guess. And maybe they just thought that her Season 1 design didn't really reflect her Season 2 personality, so they changed her design for season 2? I don't fucking know. This is all speculation. I don't know. Give me a fucking break. But honestly, all of this isn't nearly as interesting as Celestia's main design, because Celestia has a little trick up her sleeve known simply as collective fandom hallucinations. Yeah. Now, what is collective fandom hallucinations, or CFH for short? Well, let me tell you. CFH is simply an entire fandom seeming to remember some detail in a show or book or movie that just simply did not happen, okay? A little bit like the Mandela effect, now that I say it out loud. What we'll be covering today is a surprisingly large amount of people in the fandom seem to genuinely believe that a young Celestia had a pink mane, okay? However, as you'll soon learn, this was literally never the case. Not once in the entire show do we see Celestia herself have a pink mane when she was younger or present or older. But obviously, so many people think that Celestia had a pink mane, it had to have come from somewhere, right? So where did it start from? Whenever I ask somebody why they think Celestia has a pink mane, they usually seem to point to one source, and that is a fandom animation known as Lullaby for a Princess. It is quite possibly one of the greatest pieces of fandom animation that any fandom has ever produced. Not just MLP, any fandom. Seriously, I'm serious. After Celestia bans Luna to the moon in this fandom animation, Celestia dons a multicolored mane. Maybe the implication is that Celestia, like, harvested the power of the elements and it mixed with her and made her pink mane. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. Now, I want to stress that I don't think the creator of this animation, Warp Out, was, like, trying to push a narrative or anything. I think that what this was it was literally Warp Out trying to distinguish between the present version of Celestia and the past version of Celestia, and they gave past version of Celestia a pink mane. I don't think there's anything other than that. Now, I just want to point out, I am not Warp Out. I am just guessing what this person thought, okay? I have absolutely no idea what they were thinking when they gave Celestia a pink mane, okay? But, with that being said, there's exactly one source that Warp Out might have possibly gotten the pink mane from. In the very first episode of FIM, we listened to a narrator, who we later learn is probably Princess Celestia, describe the events of Nightmare Moon happening. And in this storybook-stylized picture, we see a pink-maned Princess Celestia. Do you see this? This is the one time. This is the one time in all of FIM do we ever see Princess Celestia have a pink mane. I am not joking. Now, this storybook is simplified. It's purposefully simplified. It's entirely possible they just gave her a pink mane here for a stylistic purpose, okay? But, if you were to look at the story in a vacuum, yes, Celestia had a pink mane. But this is FIM we're talking about. There's 9 more years to go. So pink mane Celestia in Season 1, Episode 1, Warp Out might have popularized it by his Lullaby for a Princess animation, and that should be the end of the story, right? Well, like I just said, we have 9 more years to get through, so no, it's not the end of the story. In literally, and I'm not joking you, every subsequent appearance of Princess Celestia, it is clearly shown that she never had a pink mane. The absolute earliest we've ever seen Princess Celestia in the timeline was in G5, in this flashback. I say flashback with huge quotes, because this could be Opaline, you know, purposefully depicting Celestia and Luna as baddies here. But anyway, this here is the absolute earliest we've ever seen Celestia and Luna as foals. And look at that. That is not a pink mane. That is a rainbow mane. Now, some people might see this and say, well, this isn't canon because it's G5, right? And to that I say, I'm gonna fucking kill you! I could rant in another video for literally hours about why saying G5 isn't canon is annoying as hell. Just because you don't like lore doesn't mean it's not canon. You just can't take lore that you don't like and say, well, it's not canon because I said it isn't. That's not how that works. If the fuckers who made the lore say it's canon, it's canon. You don't understand what I'm saying? Oh, well, FIM had a different production team. Doesn't fucking matter. Marvel movies swap out their production team every fucking movie, and yet they're still canon, aren't they? Anyways, I could rant for hours about how stupid it is when people say that G5 isn't canon, but I won't. Just because you don't like lore doesn't mean it's not lore. If you still want to sit on your throne and say that G5 still isn't canon, then fine, be a butthead. But I have even more evidence to show you about Pink Main Celestia, okay? Okay. During the Season 4 flashbacks, we once again see a younger Celestia, as Twilight sees major historical events, namely the banishment of Nightmare Moon and the banishment or stoning of Discord, both of which have a younger Celestia with a pink and multicolored mane. I almost just said pink mane. A multicolored mane. Isn't that so interesting? If you say anything past Season 3 isn't canon, I'm actually going to kill you. I believe one of the last times we see a younger Celestia is in the comics known as Legends of Magic. Wait, what's it called? Yes, issue 1 of Legends of Magic. Good lord. I wrote the script like 2 weeks ago. I'm having a hard time remembering what it's on the papers, okay? I believe a younger Celestia to show up in the comics a few more times, but this is the one I want to focus on for now, okay? Because it's very interesting. I'll get to it. We get a quick story recap of Luna accidentally falling into a Nightmare Moon timeline, and then Celestia and Starswell having to rescue her. And oh, I'm getting tired of saying this, but once again, Rainbow Mane Celestia. Isn't that funny? Ugh, but wait a minute. What's this? So there's actually something a little weird with this comic. In the beginning of the comic, like when you first open the pages, there's like a preview panel. And in that preview panel, it shows a later panel, okay? But this preview panel has a pink mane Celestia. What the fuck? As far as I can tell, this is literally, and I'm not exaggerating, this is literally the only other time in the history of FIM do we ever see Celestia with a pink mane, okay? And it's in this weird preview panel. Now listen, later when this real panel actually shows up, look, Celestia has a pink mane. It's just in this preview panel, in the beginning of the book, does she have a pink mane? What? I don't have an answer for this. I genuinely don't. The only difference between the preview and the final panel is literally that Celestia's mane is pink and they're missing speech bubbles, which is for the preview panel. Why? Why? You know, why? So my personal theory for why Celestia has a pink mane in specifically this panel is simply because originally they were gonna have Celestia with pink mane in the panels, okay? This comic was gonna have a pink mane Celestia, but whether due to recognizability concerns or because somebody at Hasbro vetoed the decision for whatever reason, they decided to revert to the rainbow mane. Once again, I have no idea why. Now, with that being said, this could literally just be as simple as they simply forgot to check the visibility button on the layers in Photoshop and just forgot to give Celestia's mane her color, you know? I don't know. But I would like to believe that my shot in the dark theory that IDW was originally going to give Celestia a pink mane before they got vetoed is true. That's insanely interesting, right? And hey, apparently, they're making G4 comics again. So I guess we'll see if they ever bring back young Celestia, if they change her mane design. Now, for the final part, let's move on to something a little more interesting. And that being the fact that Celestia and Luna have a very unique mane. They're flowy. Their manes are flowy, like there's a wind or something. But why do their manes flow like that? There's actually some in-canon explanations for why. Your first thought might be that they're just stylistic choices, which I guess would probably be as accurate as any other unsubstantiated guess, I suppose. And that might be backed up by the fact that, once again, in Season 1, Luna does not have her flowy mane. She has a normal, like, pixie buzz cut thing mane instead. Maybe the elements stripped her flowy mane until she could find some time to reapply it later, I guess? I don't know. But this theory that it's like a spell, you know, kind of does fall apart later in the Season 4 finale when the princesses, in a desperate attempt to stop Tyrek, decide to willingly give over their magic to Twilight. And look at their manes. Isn't that interesting? They're not flowing. Instead of reverting back to, like, normal hair, they're still the flowy manes, just frozen and not moving, which is really fun. It looks like someone hit the pause button, doesn't it? That's kind of weird. So if they are completely drained of all magic, wouldn't that also be the illusion spell that kept their manes flowing? I don't know. So the next obvious question is, well, have we ever seen any other ponies with this magical flowing mane before? And the answer to that is actually yes, twice. Well, technically one because the other one's kind of a cop-out. We do see Twilight don this main. That's the cop-out one, because obviously she's an alicorn already, right? We see her obviously don at the end of season 9 when she's like tall or whatever. But in that same season 4 finale, we also see Twilight don the flowy mane when attempting to use her magic to raise the sun and moon. She like Super Saiyan powers up for a minute and goes, you know? And for a few seconds there, we do actually see the flowy, sparkly mane, which is awesome foreshadow. I actually really like that. I really do like that. But what's the other pony that's not a cop-out? Huh? It's Mistmane. Somehow, inexplicably, she has this flowing mane design, kind of. I feel like it's not exactly the same as Celestia or Luna's. I think it like looks more cloud-like, right? Doesn't it? It looks more like a puff of smoke rather than Celestia and Luna's like flowy magical mane, right? So is it the same as Celestia and Luna's? I don't know. And finally, they did momentarily talk about the flowy mane in a FIM short, like a clip. They had a really, really short-running clip show for kids. I say for kids, like the FIM isn't already for fucking kids. They had a really, really short clip show, and one of these episodes focused around Rarity desperately trying to get a mane like Celestia and Luna. Twilight in the short outright just states that Celestia and Luna are the only ones with that kind of mane. I guess they forgot about Mistmane, but that's fine. Later, Twilight is very surprised that Rarity figured it out, and she outright just says that Celestia and Luna's manes are spells. So what is illusion spell? What? So Celestia and Luna's manes are spells. And I guess when they were getting drained of magic, I guess T-Rex just didn't care about illusion spells and just let them keep it, I guess. I don't know. Lots to think about. I don't know. I think that their mains can be summed up very simply. Nobody at Hasbro gave 30 seconds to sit down and actually figure out the lore behind their mains. They simply just did whatever they thought was good for the moment. Anyways, I suppose, see you freaks later. My name is CXCD. Remember, kids always tolerate intolerance, and I will see you guys later. Okay? Okay. Make sure to subscribe. Goodbye.
Next time on CXCD.
Spark. She made it.